Hello everyone. So it's been a week, hasn't it, since working on the old girl. So sorry about that. Not really that sorry, to be honest with you. Been away with the kids camping. If I can work out how to do it, I might even put some photos up. The reason I mention this is that the old Caravan I've got is very, very lightweight, and I bought it originally so that I could tow it around with this old girl. Obviously I didn't, because I was worried about the rust and thought that we should try and maybe sort things out before loading it up and taking it on a road trip. So you can partly thank the Caravan for me taking out this work. But anyway, here we are. I'll do a quick recap of where we got to and what we intend on doing right now. So thanks. So this is where we got to last time. I'm really, really pleased. And I must admit, I've been in and out of the garage past few days, and I can't believe every time I open the door how much back together it looks, and how I'm just super pleased with the alignment and everything else. If you look at that, I mean, another thing I didn't obviously really think about, because it didn't need thinking about, was that, you know, this line here through the inner wing, how well that's come through. You know, I haven't had to bend or twist anything to get that on. I mentioned about the bumper. I've had some really helpful comments just saying that actually what you do is put the spacers in, Graham. That's pretty much how it happened from factory. So that's what I'll be doing. And how well the door closes. Somebody else kindly mentioned that obviously I've got the gasket to go on there around the seal, isn't it? Yeah, so there's room for adjustment, which is great. But no, I'm just really, really pleased looking at it again in, you know, a good few days later. Yeah, I think we've done all right. So the reason I'm banging on about this is because, unfortunately, all this good work is going to have to come off, because I need to get back into things. Now I know it all fits, I need to get back in and finish some items. So I need to fill up that hole there. I need to get in and close this gap here around the floor pan. We'll do these spot welds through the top here. And what else do I need to do? Oh, there's some stuff underneath. I need to, I don't know if I'm going to do it today, but don't look, but that needs tidying up. So yeah, plan is just take these off and maybe tackle one or two of these little bits and pieces. Actually, something else I need to do, which I need to tidy up. That's what I need to do. One, I need to do a bit of grinding down as well, so that all needs grinding down and sorting out and tidying up. Likewise in here, although I did go over that, I'm not too bothered because it's going to eventually have carpet. Also noticed I've had quite a few new subscribers, so thanks so much. That's really kind. Not that I do this for subscriptions or anything like that, but it's always nice to see people interested. And if they're interested, please reach out. I try and reply to all the comments and things. I think it's just a bit of a fun thing for everybody to get involved in, really. Like I say, don't really know what I'm doing, but giving it a go anyway. So yeah, I think the next thing you're going to see is the wing and the door off, unfortunately, and then bring the camera back into what we're doing. Not going to be particularly exciting, probably not going to film too much, but once that's done, we can have thoughts about next moves, what we're doing next, because I'm in two minds really. But there we are. So yeah, I'll bring the camera back in when things are taken to pieces. So I think there's a manufacturing fault in the new panels, in that the captured nuts, bear around that bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, they're the new captured nuts. No, not that one. That's an old bit, that's an old bit. So I think the nuts that are in there are metric threads, because this is a new imperial nut, which I don't know if you can see. But anyway, it fits perfectly into the old wing positions. Well, let's take that one. Okay. So this one's been in and out already, because it's one of the ones I used to bolt the wing on temporarily. Oh, he's saying this. There you go. So that's in. And that'll go in nicely. And that one's already in, as you can see. But the new ones, cross thread. That's... and I think I've buggered that one up. So I've driven that home, and you can see the thread's gone. And annoyingly, as I've undone it now, I don't think it's captured anymore. If I get this on here, I think the captured nut is turning. I'm pretty sure it is. Let's keep going. And even if it isn't, I've obviously knackered it. So let's try and get this off. I've been messing around with this for about half an hour now. Well, actually, it looks like it's coming out again. If we look in there, well, maybe it's because it's slightly out of alignment, but it's not looking good at all. So I'm going to have to find out what's going on here. I can't reuse I can't reuse that one, that's for sure. And I don't want to totally knacker the threads in there, so something to think about. Not going to lose any sleep over it right now. At least the wing's off, and then onto the door. Right, decided to start by getting these welds in on the sill here. It'll give it some nice decent strength through there, which would be great. I can then move on to probably getting that piece in by the, what should we call that? Prop shaft tunnel. That's what we'll call it, because that's the right name for it. And then, if we get time, onto here. Okay, so tidied up, welded. Well, do you know what? That'll be all right when it's all sorted out. So at least it's generally all sealed up now. So I'm quite pleased with that. You can see I've got some half decent penetration through there, so not much more I really need to do with it. Yeah, that's fine. Done the plug welds through there. They've come in quite nicely, held up nice. And it was a bit messy. I think this area, I think it's the second time it's had a floor pan. It's very thin, that metal over the prop shaft tunnel, so it kept burning through. I had to bring the settings right back. The gap in the corner there is too big for me to bridge, and this part here I think I'm just going to make a plate up and go over it. I'm not going to spend much time on that. It's never going to be seen, and I just want to get this bit done, so I'll probably just go over the top of it, to be honest with you. It's too thin and too tricky to try and do any other way and try and piece a bit in, so not going to be the best repair in the world, but it will allow me to move on to what I need to do next. Which is, so yeah, once those, oh, and I've got to do that hole there, which I am going to do neatly because it's going to be relatively seen, so I'm going to try and do a good job on that. So once that's done, it's a lot of sand, a lot of grinding back and tidying up, but yeah, I think we're nearly done with the welding on this side of stuff, which is great. I mean, I do want to have a look at some rust here, but to be honest with you, I don't know if I want to unpick all of this. I really don't think I do. So that may just get tarted up. I'll have a look at this part here. I mean, it is rusty, but it's... we'll have a look. Yeah, so yeah, gonna make some templates and patches and bring you back in when that's done. Doesn't look like much, but I'm really pleased with this bit of welding in here. I've managed to get the like the corners down and tack it in, and then beat it into shape whilst it's in situ, which is quite an achievement for me because, you know, new to all this. I know it's very, very messy. There's still paint, I think, residue on places, so, but it is holding really well. I'm really pleased with that. It's not going anywhere. So now, I mean, that out of all the things actually goes to show how much I think I've come on anyway. It's a good, not a good bit of work, but it's a bit of work, isn't it? Now, I've just templated the hole there. Exciting stuff, people. Here you go. Ta-da! So that's going to go on there, and then sort it all out. And the dogs are kicking off. And there's my son shouting at the dogs. My life. I know it doesn't look like much, but I'm quite pleased with how the welding's going today. So let's get that little patch in. I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it? Sure, that's all right. Once that's all taken back a little bit, you know, no awards, not yet anyway. Maybe next time. But these little fiddly little things are the trickier bits, to be honest with you. So I'm really pleased with that. I'm pretty pleased with that. I was going to, you know, stop for time being, but actually, I've only got one bit of welding left, and that's that hole there. Sorry, just correction. Definitely not the last bit of welding, but on this side of the bodywork, I've got tons and tons of welding to do. But big step. So I think I'm going to get that last patch in, and then the next video is probably going to be it's probably going to be rubbing things down, spraying things, and then talking to you about what to do next. I mean, I'll turn it around. So I've got a couple of thoughts on what to do, really. What could I do? I could spin the car around and do the rest of the bodywork on the other side, and I'm tempted to do that because I kind of know what I'm doing and I'm kind of in the swing of things. But equally, I'm really keen to have a look at this chassis, because if I don't tackle, you know, I could have a wonderful body on a terrible chassis. So part of me also thinks that this is the time to tip the car on its side, which we'll have to do the chassis, and have a go at it. Because it may well still be that I need to get a new chassis, and you can get new chassis. I've had a few comments, people saying, well, you're going to get one. Well, there's a chap, I think it's in Somerset, or at least that way, who batch makes them. So they're a few £1,000s. It'd be a real investment, but is that the right thing to do? And I think the only thing we can do is tip it on its side to find out. So that's really the next big steps going forwards. God, it's hot in here. If you can see me sweating, it's really hot. Yeah, so that's the pickle I'm at, really. I'm going to have a bit more time and think about it, finish off this hole, and like I said, the next video will be rubbing things down and scratching my head on what to do. Maybe even spinning the car around anyway. I mean, maybe that's what I do, spin it around and see what we're dealing with on the other side, and then make my mind up. Oh, I don't know. I'm just rattling to myself now. I could just think about this whilst driving to work or something, but I'm boring you lot with it. I'm terribly sorry. Right, on to the last patch. That's what I'm doing. There we are. 2 patches, which isn't ideal, I know. I'm fitting all new panels. But that's that, isn't it? There's not much I can do about it now. I'll tell you what. I mean, this is the ultimate test, isn't it? I mean, it's this end cap testing, this is. But yeah, having finished off those welds through there has made a massive difference. Everything's really nice and stiff now. So obviously I don't think this is the last time I'm going to be welding this side of the bodywork. I think once I take this down, I will be going over it again, probably some pinholes here and there, maybe some even bigger than pinholes. Oh, and I looked at the wings, by the way, the wing nuts. I'm quite surprised because the wing nut bag, there you go, it's M6F. You see down there? Well, that doesn't feel right, does it? An M6 bolt on a 1961 car. So I'm going to do a bit more research on that, I think. I think that's a bit of a dud, to be honest with you. But there we have it. I think that's all I'm going to do for today. Like I said, I'm going to try and show some images of my crappy Caravan. I'll probably do it at the end. If you see images of the Caravan at the end, that means I did it. If you don't, it means I didn't. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Keep the comments coming. I really enjoy them. And maybe see you tomorrow, maybe, if I've got time. If not, I'll try and get something done during the week after work. So, anyway, thank you. So, this is what I get up to when I'm not videoing. A horrible old 1979 folding Caravan with Adam And Phoebe and Jet's just had the snip, so you're not going to see her. Him, rather. And inside, just packing it up so you can see what it's all about. Got a bunk bed here, little kitchenette, and tables which turn into a bed. And if I step in, got a bit of shelving here, and shelving here. So, very briefly, gonna take it all down, fold it all up, and you'll see what it all turns into at the end. So I've had this about 5 years. Very often we go away in this. It's doing all right. So yeah, that's what I get up to, and that's why there hasn't been anything about the Morris. So there'll be another video quite shortly, like kids playing bowls, probably over the weekend. But for the time being, you'll just have to do with this one, I'm afraid. So anyway, next video will be folding up.